Good evening, Hobby World. Thanks for joining us tonight live for episode 74 of Personal Rips with Hobby Chat. Joining me tonight, as always, is Ken from Beans B Card Blog. I am Herman, aka 3B Collections. We're here on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern to talk about our hobby and yours. Feel free to join into the conversation in chat. Here we go. How's everybody doing? How are you doing, Ken?
I am doing well. How was your, since we weren't on last week, how was your Independence Day weekend?
Oh, it was great. We spent some time at the pool with the grandkids and done some cooking out. I didn't cook quite as many ribs as you did, but
I did 3 racks.
yeah, I actually did a what they call a poor man's brisket, which is a chuck roast, but
Okay.
kind of done it in the style of a brisket.
So you smoked it.
Yeah,
I've never, I mean, I don't go out and like search for things to do. I've never heard or seen that. So I'm definitely intrigued. How did that turn out?
it turned out awesome. I've done one before, and
Okay.
and they turn out real good. I mean, um, well, just like anything else, smoking is low and slow. But
Especially with non-birds mostly.
yeah, and what I did different this time was, and I don't know what hit me, but I had a craving for it. But I wanted to do one kind of on the medium rare side, but make a mushroom and onion gravy to go with it.
Sounds delightful.
Yeah, man.
It's interesting. It's like you turned smoked meat into comfort food.
Yeah,
And if there's 2 things in the world I love, it's smoked meat and comfort
food.
foods. So yeah, you put those bad boys together. Yeah, it's pretty delightful.
Yeah, but it was it. Like I said, you slice it just like you do a brisket. Like around a quarter inch slices, and man, it was delicious.
Man, yeah. I mean, now you've given me something else to think about and try. My
And I'll
stepson.
take I'll take a $13 chuck roast over a $90 brisket.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the one good thing if you were doing brisket is a lot of people were doing brisket sales these last couple weeks leading
Yeah,
into it. So you get the best price basically available. There's 2 times a year that happens, and usually I buy 1 or 2. I actually bought one, but didn't smoke it. I actually bought one and froze it.
right.
Uh, and even after they've been frozen, they've come out great. So you
Yeah,
know, definitely not hesitant to do that anymore. I did. So my stepson was back for a few days. So Saturday I did the ribs. Like I said, I did 3 different, and I did 3 different rubs on those. One of which was a rub that I got my buddy Logan, who is King NASCAR on Twitter and here. He brought those to me at the last Dallas Card Show that we both attended, and used that, and that was definitely my favorite of the ones. That was Porkies or Corkies, maybe it's Corkies, could
right.
be Porkies, who knows? It's pig rub, and then did kebabs on Sunday, and then America did the hamburgers on 4th of July.
Yep. I'm actually going to do some kebabs this weekend, but they'll be just on the gas grill down by the river because we're going camping. So,
Ah,
yep.
I did, and then this weekend or yesterday I did the. Remember, I think you remembered it because we had talked about Malcolm Reed and how to barbecue right. I think
Mhm.
you had talked about it before. The the pork tenderloin,
Yes.
the grinder. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I did it again this weekend, but just did it as not a grinder. Just did it as the pork itself, and then did the coleslaw that he put on there just as a side. Pretty damn delightful.
I'm getting hungry.
I ate before, so I'm good.
All right, let's see. We got Mickey in here. Welcome. Bo's in here. Dan. Let's see. We got Ed, Mark, Zach, and Porter. Thanks for joining, guys. Hey, there's George. Good morning, George. George is having his coffee and getting ready for work, I'm sure.
I'm sure first thing in the morning goes real well with smoked chuck roast and smoked ribs talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But thanks for poking your head in, George.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a few of them comments about, great 30 minutes in and we're still talking about food and not the topic. Yeah. But
well, I mean, if
I
anybody's got that big of a problem with it, I got 2 words for them.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know how far their reach is, but have you ever heard of Logan's Steakhouse?
Yeah, I remember them from when I lived up north.
Oh, okay. That was their steak season is what I put on the chuck roast.
So they sell their own steak seasoning.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I say they sell it, but the bottle I got, they gave it out at Father's Day for any of the men that was in that day. They gave them to the fathers.
Gotcha.
And I actually was playing golf with my sons that day, and my wife took her granddaddy to Logan's for Father's Day, and they gave him one, and he gave it to her to give it to me because he never does any grilling. So, but I mean, it's just salt, pepper, and garlic. That's all it is.
Oh, okay. I like the Montreal steak seasoning for steak, but it's a little bit strong for the missus. She's not too big of a fan of it, so don't really use that on the old steak anymore. A lot of times, honestly, I just use the salt and pepper, and then typically she'll whip up a little garlic butter for me to put on for those last couple minutes.
Right.
And then we'll get our garlic in there. What is all this scratching talk? Do you have any clue?
Scratch coffee and scratch tickets. Oh yeah, I know exactly what it is. Well, I don't want to call him out because there was something exposed today from somebody that watches Bo every morning, and I'm not going to call him out, but the Bo found some info on him and he posted it, and it explains a lot about him. So,
all right, so
if he wants to listen, if he wants to mention it, I'll let him, but I'm not going to be the one to do it. What's up, Victor? Jenny, welcome. Jenny says she had chicken. Jenny says she had chicken for dinner. Well, I'm going to have chicken as soon as we get off here. So I'm not above eating chicken. I love chicken, obviously.
Oh, I love chicken. Good smoked chicken breast. Yep. Or no, the whole chicken and then the turkey breast. Smoking the turkey breast. I like to do that around Thanksgiving.
I've done whole chicken. I've done leg quarters. I've never smoked chicken breast.
Sorry, I didn't mean chicken breast. I meant the whole chicken.
Oh, okay.
And then turkey breast is what you do because the turkeys are a lot bigger. So in my vertical smoker, I can't get a whole turkey. But I can get the turkey breast.
We finna spend the whole hour here talking about food. Bo's talking about some brisket pizza. Little Caesar's brisket used to have a brisket pizza that I loved, and they done away with it, and they will not bring it back.
Shame. All right, so I guess are we supposed to talk about cards or something?
Well, I mean, it's
it's
a hobby, Chad. If smoking's your hobby, let's talk hobby.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. With some of the stuff that these guys and gals have stuck with us through, I'm pretty sure they can handle a little bit more smoking and grilling talk because they've stuck with us through some real crap.
I mean, chicken talk, talking smoked barbecue, and whatever else we talked about. So real quick, I guess I'll start off with this. And I did share this on Twitter, so pretty much I'm probably sure that everybody that's in here already knows it. But I can't remember, was it the last time we was on when I got the package that was demolished by the USPS with the Freeman patch card in it? I think it was the last time. May have been.
It was either the last time or 2 times ago.
Yeah. Well, I had kind of made mention of it on one of Ultra Pro's tweets. That I forgot what they said something about their one touches, and I posted a picture and said apparently they do a good job of protecting them from unruly USPS sites. But anyway, they reached out and told me to email them. So I did, and they wanted my address. They actually sent me a replacement One Touch for the card, along with the stand.
Very nice.
So, aside from a couple of surface dimples, no harm, no foul. So,
yeah, it's funny you got mail from them. I got mail from them on Monday. I actually won one of their Twitter giveaways a couple weeks ago or a week ago.
oh, sweet.
So I will actually open the box. I'm going to do a video here in the next few days for my channel, and then I'll just open it live. I know what it is, but I don't know what it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not like typical card supplies. So I'm interested to see it, but y'all have that loaded up on my page sometime in the next few days. I'll get that recorded.
Let's go. And Ultra Pro seems to be more. If you had to compare the two major ones to any particular company, I would say Ultra Pro is more like Upper Deck, and the other one is more like Tops.
Is that because the one like Upper Deck's also in California, I think?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because I think I'm pretty sure that's where mine came from, was California.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, Ultra Pro is always like they. When I first got on YouTube and Twitter and doing a couple of box breaks, they actually reached out to me and supplied me with mats and a sample box of different One Touches and I mean, all kind of stuff. Had the card sizers, ink pens, lanyards, BCW, I've never heard anything from them. So
BCW, I mean, I've gotten responses from them when I've tweeted at them, but definitely Ultra Pro seems to be out there, lurking a little bit more.
That's why I said, I mean, I would compare them to like what, Upper Deck, the way Upper Deck does. They actually reach out to somebody. If they see something on Twitter, they'll reach out to whether they're tagged in it or not, So, But yeah, all right, we got Dan with us now. So welcome, Dan. Dan's been with us. I missed his first comment. Making Jeopardy trivia games for his students. So I guess we'll just get right into it then.
All right, let's roll.
Let me well, you go ahead and start it up, and I'll pull it up here.
What am I starting up?
Your little poll here.
Oh yeah, which one was that? I can't even remember now because now we've talked about so many things. Now I can't even remember which one it was.
The Chasing the Rainbow.
Ah, the rainbow. Yeah, it was just one of those things, Some sets, you've only got 3 or 4, especially if you don't have printing plates. In my case, like I actually got these 2 cards in today, these 2 Dale Earnhardts from the same seller. One is actually numbered out of 14, or one is numbered out of 100, one's numbered out of 1,000. There's also a green version that's out of 5,000. So I believe technically I have the rainbow, but I mean, it's 3 cards, so it's not super, I don't sit here and go, "Ooh, yeah, I've got the rainbow," and show it off like it would be if it was a mosaic rainbow or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of the thought of my question, if it's just one pair, if it's 1993 Topps baseball and it's just your regular, or say 94, because you got your regular, you got your Topps gold, and then you got your Spanish. Okay, yeah, you got all 3 of them, but I think we all would admit that's not, super impressive, something that you're gonna, just be shouting from the top of the hill about. But as you get, more current, you can start getting these things like Prism, where I think we're up to 40, 50 parallels, something like that. Yep. Which I used to find fun, but now I'm actually kind of backpedaling from that. One of those things where you just know you're not going to get all 50 of them, but it's fun to get as many as you can. Or, like you had mentioned before the show, if it's a mosaic or something like that, or a Prism, one of these ones that's got, 50 parallels. Well, what if you pull one of the 101s? Now that's a fun little project to do. You've got, the toughest one. And then, there's probably some other 101s, and then there's ones out of 5s, 10s, stuff like that.
Right.
And there's some parallels I've been chasing, like some of the Panini Prism, Alec Manoah stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've just never seen it.
Yeah.
I've just never seen them. And I'm not just talking the 101s. I'm talking stuff that's out at like 25, 50 that, you feel like you should be able to find.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Some of Topps' variations, certain years, I think 2019. Good luck finding a Mother's Day. The pink, like with the Freemans, I have never seen one, and they're numbered out of 50. You would think, one or two would pop up on eBay, but they don't.
So something I have noticed in the past from when I was doing my Andrew Shaw player collection. So some of the ones that were the toughest to find, and again, this is hockey, this is Upper Deck. I know they haven't done baseball, basketball, football in a while. But they would do their gold script, which was numbered out of 100, or I think they've, in the last few years, made it's now out of 125.
Mm-hmm.
But those things are almost impossible to find because they're in blasters. And it just feels like I've heard multiple people say the same thing, and I've thought it as well. It's like some kid got the blaster, opened it up, didn't know what he had, just threw all the cards in his box, and moved on. He took his team or whatever. He took the ones he really wanted out, but didn't realize that there was a gold script of whoever it is out there. And I mean, there's been times where when I was doing the Andrew Shaw thing, like I bought every one I could find out of 100 because there were only like 4 or 5 of them.
Right, and I mean, if it's a blaster exclusive,
yeah, in that case, they are.
How many of those blasters are sitting in somebody's closet or in their attic, or
especially now if it's like Zion Williamson rookie year stuff, because everybody put all that money into them, and they're all sitting on 500 blasters that they can't get their money back out of, and they're sure as hell not opening them. Right. So, yeah, and like you said, a lot of things, that gold parallel, like, maybe it was only released in the United States, or it was only released in Canada or something like that. I can't recall how all that works. It's been a few years since I've really been into the hockey and knowing what's going on. And I will say, Zach was saying something about, I don't think you can collect a rainbow for an era where rainbows don't exist. And I was kind of thinking of it as you were saying it too, because you used the word variation. Yeah, like for me, the rainbow, I mean, it's got to be the same image. Now, I loved, and he had replied, and I read it and loved it. But Vosbrink on Twitter, replied with that one that he saw. It was definitely cool, like for 88 Donruss baseball. Yeah, there's different colors.
I forgot about the different colors of those.
I like those, but unfortunately, I don't really consider that the same thing. I mean, I definitely get what he was going for, and I love it. And if I was working on Dale Murphy, I would put all those together, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's also not a rainbow because each one of those has a different image.
Yeah.
And they've got different things on the back of the card. Like for me, a parallel, a rainbow is a true same thing and just a different color. But
Zach says card hobbyists agreed. It's ridiculous. Now on Trading Card Database, someone has updated the early 90s Fleer with a printed in US and printed in US with period after the S. That might be Rich. I think Rich, and that's what Steph and Rich work on at ComC.
Well, ComC, but not a Trading Card Database. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I definitely get that that's irritating for a lot of people, but you have to bear in mind, no matter how you collect, nobody collects exactly like you. And for everything that, anything that comes out in the hobby and I say that I dislike it, there's tens of thousands of people that love it. So
Well,
it just is what it is. And a lot of people, so the only thing I'll say is, so the player I collected in my teens, and I've got a good portion of his player run. He's only got like 300 something cards, and that's Russ Davis. He was a third baseman with the Yankees and had most of his success with the Mariners. Then he was with the Giants. But yeah, at a certain point, when you've got a guy that's only got say 200 or 300 cards, and you've got 85-90% of them, hell, you're just trying to find something different to add.
You're right.
So yeah, like if it's not 1991 tops, there's the A sheet, A asterisk, B asterisk, C asterisk, D asterisk. So some people, that's what they do. So, but I can definitely understand where some people don't like that.
Yeah, and that's like when we were talking about the 72 and John and Rich was like, you got to go after the master set. Well, I knew about the color variations, that's one thing. Like with this one, and I picked this one up last week right after they had talked about it. But a lot of the Cubs cards out of the 72 set has green under the C and under the S. The regular version has the yellow, but for some reason or another, some of them have green. I get that, but they also have listed that one of the cards, and I can't remember which one it is. It's a variation because one card has a 5-point star after the copyright, I think it is, and the other one has a 6-point asterisk instead of a star.
Those are some details that I've never thought about, noticed, seen. Yeah, that's
we have a Texas Card Dude sighting. What's up, Brad? I don't think I've seen him live on anything lately, aside from Hobby Hotline.
He's antisocial these days. He doesn't like us anymore.
Apparently, we're not the only one.
We're not the only ones he doesn't like, or no, he's not the only one that doesn't like us.
No, we're not the only ones that don't like.
Wait, what? I didn't say I don't like him.
I'm not going into that.
I said he doesn't like us.
I know. Let's see. Zach says the only challenge on Trading Card Database is defaults you collection to the variations if you had it on your first. Okay.
Well, yeah, and again, it's so tough, and it's just it's like sport lots. You don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know what the seller knows, what they don't know about it. So hard to say. But yeah, it was just like I said, it was just one of those random questions I had. And then, do you have anything more you want to talk about on that one?
Yeah, actually, I did.
All right, let's roll.
You as far as the rainbow, you're talking about the variations. I know I told you this before we went on. I actually went through some of my Freeman's. Your poll had asked, what would you consider a rainbow? I think it was, let's see, let me look. It was 2 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 plus. 2 to 4 is kind of pushing the envelope. 5 to 9 is kind of in my wheelhouse as far as being feasible to chase. The 15 and plus, which that was your lowest one anyway. It was like 2% voted for that. But I went back and I told you this before. I went back and pulled a few of my Freemans from the last few years and realized that out of 2019, I'm only 3 cards shy of having the complete rainbow. All right, well, let me ask you this, because you was talking about rainbow, and I know you were talking about mosaic, and I'm sure everybody talks about prism, but the Topps variation, would you consider that a rainbow?
I don't understand what you're asking.
Well, when I say variations, because like Topps has Mother's Day, Father's Day blues, they have the black, They have the clear,
It's got gold.
Independence Day, Memorial Day camo. Do you consider that a rainbow, or are you thinking more along the lines of Prism? Red mosaic, blue mosaic, whatever, zebra.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a rain. Yeah, I mean, again, my point of the question was more along the lines of, like I said, this Dale Earnhardt where there's 3 different versions. Well, I'm not, whatever. But yeah, when you start getting up to, a half dozen or whatever, yeah. I mean, I had probably tried a Topps rainbow at some point of somebody. Probably, never completed one, mostly just because I just have not been into baseball in a long time. So, yeah, no, again, for Topps Chrome, Topps Chrome has, a crap ton of parallels. Same thing with every Bowman one. Upper Deck doesn't seem to have those brands that have quite as many in hockey. Because even in, like, their flagship is where Topps has, like you said, what do we probably have in Topps flagship? 15 to 25 parallels, maybe? Is where, at least when I was last collecting Upper Deck hockey, really all you had was the base. You had the high gloss to 10. You had the exclusives to 100. You'd have 4 printing plates, and I think that was it.
Okay.
And now you have EPAC parallels as well.
Yep.
So you add in like 2 or 3 more parallels.
So this is I'm trying to figure out exactly what they do have, and this is 2019, so I may be off a little. What if I got here? All right, you got base. You got the gold foil board, rainbow foil. Then you have to look at, you have the yellow out of Target, gold, advanced stats, vintage, stock, Independence Day, black, Father's Day, Mother's Day, the clear out of 10, then 4 printing plates. Then there's also Memorial camo in there, which I don't have with that one, or the purple, which is, what is the purple? It's one of these drugstores.
Used to be Toys R Us. Oh, it's Meijer now, isn't it?
Meijer, that's it. Okay, well then you go into, you have the mini, Montgomery Club, the Gold Star set variation, which also has some sort of blue and orange.
Yeah, there's other ones in there. Yeah.
And then there was a 1 of 1 in that too, which I had the opportunity to get, and I missed it because I was late to the party. The guy sold it after I realized it had been pulled. And then you have the UK. This is 2019, so that's 20 right there, variations when you throw all those in there. So
yeah, and I do know that a lot of people, they bitch and moan and complain about the Panini parallels, but I mean, Topps puts a lot of them out there as well. So, does Panini put more? Yes, for better or worse. It's all relative. It's all your own point of view. But yeah, I mean, Topps has a lot of stuff out there too.
Yeah, I think I said 19, but that was 2020. That one I purposely went after trying to get all of them. But 2019, I fell only 3 short. And like, again, I went back today and looked, but I didn't realize that until I pulled all of them. And that was completely unintentional. That was just me trying to get every Freeman I saw. Yeah. So, and that was even worse because they had a 3D version on top of all the rest of them, and several others. And then, like last year, you had the Japanese version added to it. I mean, if you're trying to, then like opening day has the same image, so that could be considered.
Yeah, some people will count that. I kind of count each set as their own individual, but I can understand where if you're already doing all the tops, why wouldn't you do the opening day? And why wouldn't you try to get all the chrome as well? Because the chromes are going to have the same image.
Well, yeah, I didn't even get into the chromes. I got those too.
I mean, yeah, it's like I said, it was just a question. Like, where do you kind of consider that it's at least a rainbow? You know, because I'm sorry, like I said, my 3 Dale Earnhardts, that's not really that much of a rainbow. Now, when we start getting up, like I said, 6, 7, 8, especially too, on the Earnhardts where the most rare one is out of 100.
Right.
There's not a 101 and a out of 5 and a 10, 25. But
yep. And Mark Hall says the Ben Baller, which that was the chrome.
Yeah, that was
right here. Ooh, I'm starting to feel like Steph now. Steph just pull stuff out of my hat. Yeah, it can go on and on. I mean, which I don't know if they made it or I just didn't get it, but you also have the Utz potato chip.
Yep.
So,
and again, depends on if you can. For me, a rainbow is the same image.
Well, all those are
but
the same image. Yep.
Yes, but I was even going back to, if you remember a few years ago, there were the lids ones. Lids for 2 years had them, but I think they had a different image. So again, there's it's your own collection. You collect however you want, and there's no wrong. There's no right and there's no wrong. It's all what you want to do. And I feel like we stress that a lot on here and can't stress it enough.
Lids.
Okay. So is that a different image than the other ones?
It's a completely different image.
I thought it was, but But again,
this is actually 2018. Bo turned me onto this actually, and a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, I have never heard of them.
Those aren't the easiest things to find, I don't think.
Actually, I searched it on eBay right after Bo told me, and I mean, I found one right off the rip. Wasn't that expensive. I mean, considering it was a completely different image from the original version. So,
well, at this point, we're 5-6 years removed. So,
true.
In other words, if it's not a numbered or something, it's probably going into a quarter box or a dime box at this point.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that I was, aside from 2020, I wouldn't say that I was actually chasing the rainbow, so to speak, as much as just trying to get one of each one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a player collector of any seriousness, I mean, in theory, you are a rainbow collector because you are trying to get as many as you can. Now, in your case, the one of ones are, you would probably, unless you have an unlimited budget on somebody like Freddie Freeman,
Yep.
You're going to have to pick and choose. Okay, well, I want to try to do the flagship one because it's got the most parallels, but I'm not going to try to fool with the 5-star or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
You're not gonna be able to go after every 101 in most cases. I was able to do that with Andrew Shaw when I was collecting him, just because he didn't have a ton of cards. He wasn't in every set that was released. Freddie Freeman is in. I mean, he's got to be in 98% of top sets. It can't be very often that he's left out of a set. So
and usually has 100 different autographs in each one of them.
there is that too.
Yep. I missed out last night on a Freddie Freeman 1-of-1 from Diamond Kings. It was the masterpiece, the wood border masterpiece, and it went for under $50. But to me, which I love Diamond Kings, don't get me wrong, but if I was going to spend the money on a 1-of-1, it would be a Topps, not
and
not something without the with the jersey airbrushed or whatever. So
I think it was it Bo, one of Bo's, because I have to usually wait a day to watch Bo's streams because of the buffering until they complete. But was it on Bo's stream where somebody said, well, what about the Walter Payton rookie? There's no logo on the Walter Payton rookie. there's no logo on the Joe Montana rookie. So I throw that out there. I'd never thought about it that way, but I just wanted to throw that out.
I remember that, and I can't remember who said it or whose show it was on.
It probably was Bo. And yes, Dan, what I think you had just pulled that up about the different players' cards popping up. Yeah, what that probably is if you click on one of those cards and you go down into the attributes or whatever you call them, the suggested somethings, probably somebody copied a Mark Burley and forgot to change it, and in some cases just listed card after card, never changing it from Mark Burley to Mike Trout or Freddie Freeman or whoever it may be. So even though it's not in the title, it's showing up down there, and that's probably why they're popping up. Yeah, it's super annoying. It really is. And I don't know, I haven't come up with any way to get around that.
So since you mentioned Walter Payton, I mean, and Zach and Porter's in here, I watched Zach's video today about his 85 Bears rookie PC, and they kind of have left Walter Payton out because of the price for now. And I just wondered if the fact that card didn't have the logo on it, if it mattered to them or not. I doubt it.
No, I don't think it does, and I don't think it matters to anybody, because in a lot of those cases, they did it kind of like Panini has gotten better about. They did it at an angle where you couldn't tell, or in the case of a lot of the football players, they did shots without the helmet on.
Right, like the Walter Payton, if I'm not mistaken, has a headband, a sweatband.
I think you're right.
Like the old 70s, early 80s sweatband, headband, or whatever.
But yeah, they definitely. How the hell was I not? I was wondering why I hadn't seen that video. How the hell was I not subscribed to Zach and Porter? Okay, that has been fixed. I must have been subscribed to Zach's old page. So anyway, sorry, I just subscribed, Zach. But yeah, I mean, also back then it just was what it was. You didn't have the option to be picky like you do these days. Yeah. I mean, I'm so old. I remember when there were each company only produced one set a year and maybe a couple of box sets.
Right. And I can't tell on here, but Zach, if I think you have a wrench, drop your YouTube link in the chat for everybody to give you a subscribe. What's up, peeps?
Yeah, if the card's cool, go for it. I mean, again, you can afford to be picky how you want. Panini has done a much better job of using photos that minimize the lack of logos, and that's all you can do. And I used to criticize them for not doing that, but from what I have seen, although I'm on social media less, I'm watching less YouTube, so I'm not seeing as much. But it does seem like in the last 2 to 3 years, they've done a much better job. Almost every catcher card probably they have the they're wearing their catching gear.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can get away. That's an easy one to get away with, where you don't even notice it. So if you're a Yadier Molina collector, and almost all of his are, where he's got his chest protector on, are you collecting those? Because it's really no different than a Topps from that standpoint.
Yep.
So, all the questions we keep throwing back and forth at each other, and it just shows there are no two collections alike. Everybody has their own likes, dislikes. There's just so many different ways to collect. There's no right way. There are some wrong ways, but there's no right way.
Yeah. I would rather have the name on the jersey or the hat, the logo on the hat, whatever. But as far as when it comes to like a team set, and I think that's why I only do the Topps flagship heritage, the Topps brand team sets for Braves, and not like the Panini and Donruss, Diamond Kings and all that, is because of the logo. But now if it comes to like a player, if I'm collecting that player, especially like in my case now, where in other people, I mean, I'm not the only one, but other people where their player has moved on to other teams, but you're still kind of attached to that player. You still collect them. Well, if you're collecting a player across 2 or 3 different teams, then it shouldn't matter about a Panini card that doesn't have a logo or team logo on that card. So
Thanks for poking in, Dan. Have a good one. Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I'm not trying to convince anybody to buy Panini. Because honestly, Panini is by far and away my least favorite of the card manufacturers. Maybe if they decide to get me my Alek Manoah and Charles Barkley autographs, I've been waiting for almost 3 years now. But yeah, it was just like I said, throwing those out there, like especially when you have a catcher, probably a lot of Freeman's cards, for example, just using him as an example. He's probably got the bat, so his forearm is kind of covering for the most part where the Braves would be. His head's turned to the side, so you don't really notice. And that's way better than like when I've seen some of them, and I think Panini's done it. I know Leaf's done like where they like show the back of the player because it doesn't have a team logo. That is awful.
Peeps, I found this right here. This is the comment. I actually found a 95, 96. Was it 95 or 96? Topps Kent Herbeck in a pile of stuff I had. I don't know how I got it, but I'm going to pull it out. And I'm going camping this weekend, and I'm intentionally going to use that card to start my campfire. And I might even make a video.
You go to one of two directions. You could either burn it or you could use it as TP.
Oh, that's a little rough. Nah.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
If you're out camping, you don't get all the niceties.
No, you don't. Well, unless you just take it with you.
That's why I don't go camping.
Bernie, go ahead. Look. Hey. Zach Sports Cards and Collectibles. Comment of the night.
I don't believe I've heard that name before.
I've seen him in here, or is it in Bo's channel? I'm like, Zach, is this your first time in here? I know I've seen him on Bo's in the morning. Bo in the morning. But
the Bo show.
Because I remember him because he's got the famous Dale Murphy poster, Nike poster as his profile.
Nice. Gotta love guys named Dale that use number 3.
Right. Oh, have I showed you this shirt?
Oh no! Did your kids get that for you?
No, I actually got it. I won it. You was talking about winning something from Ultra Pro on Twitter. I won this last year from Blake Jameson on Twitter. All right, or actually Instagram.
Very nice.
Yeah, okay. So Zach has been in here. I thought he had been, and I knew I'd seen him on Bo's.
You definitely pay more attention to the chat than I do. So.
Well, that's right.
Absolutely default to you.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, when I'm listening to Bo, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm driving, and the phone's laying on the dash. I hear Bo, and I don't see the comments until like at a red light or we pull off or something like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, like I said, I do most of my listening, watching, whatever you want to say. Yeah, while I'm working, it's background, so I know exactly what you mean.
Let's see. That's not the one I meant to do. That one. So both Zach Sports Cards and Collectibles. I got to make sure I'm subscribed to him.
Hold, please.
No, I think I am though. I don't know. It all runs together.
I'm taking a look. You're the host. I can go off and do these things. You've actually got to keep the show going.
So Peeps wants to know while you're looking if you have a 72 Petty.
No. There's no way. There's just no way I'll ever have one of those. It's not so much about the afford because, and it goes back to what I've said before. When I was buying a lot of T206 and I would show those off, people would say, oh, man, I wish I could get those, but I can't afford them. Yeah, you can afford them. You can buy, if you want a common one just to have one, don't buy those 2 blasters that you're going to get absolute garbage out of and buy a card. It's just not where I'm going to allocate my funds for that petty. And I'm not enough of an overall NASCAR collector that I feel like it's one my collection is incomplete without. But yeah, those, I wish I had one of the 72 STP cards. I know there was an Elmo Langley on COMC for like $40 for a couple of years, and I wish I'd bought it just so I could say I have one, but just never did, and like I said, most things can be afforded by most of us. But yeah, you just gotta choose where you want to allocate your funds. I haven't listened in a bit, but I listened to a financial podcast called Afford Anything, and her tagline is, "You can afford anything, but not everything." And I never really thought about it until just now, but that's definitely true of the hobby as well. You can afford just about anything.
True.
But do you want to buy that Freddie Freeman 101, or do you want to have 25 cards numbered to 25? And again, no right, no wrong. You do what you want to do. But yeah, most of us have those choices that have to be made. I think I just followed Zach, and I closed out I just subscribed to Zach Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Hold on, I'm on the wrong one here.
Uh-oh.
No, I was trying to give Zach a wrench to let him share his channel. I actually was not subscribed to him. I don't know how. I've been on it before.
Well, if you just type in what they use as his name there, it should pop up for you. I think I just typed Zach Sports Cards, and I think it came up in my search bar, and then I found it.
There we go. All right, Zach, you should have a wrench now. So post your link on here for anybody that may not follow you, like I wasn't till 5 minutes ago.
So we talked a lot about the rainbows in my question. So I don't know if y'all have seen it, but I did tweet out about a couple hours ago. Would love to get everybody's Herman and I may talk about this next week. I'm thinking we are, because I do think you like the idea, Herman. And then
I do.
Obviously, we're getting responses here. I've already got 10 responses. But yeah, if y'all go to my page, which is just Beans B Card Blog, one word, on Twitter, I posted a couple hours ago a 2-part question. A, how long have you been collecting? And then B, knowing what you do now, if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice, what would that advice be? And when I say that, I don't mean saying, oh, go buy all the Mike Trout rookie cards when they were $3. That's not the kind of thing I'm talking about, like not financial gain, but as far as being a pure collector, a pure hobbyist, it's almost if I could start all over, what would I do differently? It's along those lines. And it's just funny. The second reply I got was from Steph, and it was my reply. He said, buy singles, not product.
Right.
Yeah. We all want to open stuff from time to time. That's how I started. I've been collecting since 87. But think of how much money we have all spent on wax over the years and gotten basically nothing for it, nothing that we still have. We could have spent that $100 that we spent on that box and bought one card. So, well, there you go. That's a valid answer, because yeah, if you had kept it, if you keep it organized from the start, it's easier than going back and reorganizing later. But it's hard to know how you want to sort when you're starting. You have to have all of your, trials and tribulations and, your hits and misses before you know what you want to do.
I could not tell you how many times I've organized my collection, and about once every 3 or 4 months, I want to do it again and do it different.
Mm-hmm. Because we all evolve, we all change, we all have different moods, we have different ways we collect at different times. Hell, I feel like I changed the focus of my collection way more than anybody else. Most of y'all are relatively focused. Me, I'm the hey, look, squirrel.
True, bro.
I think Bo is, I think he's being a little optimistic, thinking those things are going to be worth $1,000. Just
No, he said not have spent $1,000 on them.
Oh! I thought he said not open $1,000 blasters. I read it wrong, like thinking they were going to be worth $1,000, and then opening them. Yeah, but I mean, and card hobbyist right there. I mean, that's a great answer
Exactly.
as well.
Yep.
Oh, I was talking about his comment before.
Oh,
yeah,
here. Okay.
I would tell myself not to sell off my entire collection when I quit collecting twice, and that's I mean, that may not go back to the beginning of your collecting, but that's a great answer, and those are the kind of things I'm looking for. So, would love for everyone to comment on that. Just throw out there what you think, because honestly, what we'll probably do is you'll probably just go click on that tweet, and we'll probably just scroll down through all the comments next week.
Well, how about this? We'll get together sometime toward the end of the week, or right before we go on, or well, I guess it needs to be a little earlier than that, but like toward the end of the week, and just kind of decide which one we like best, or not like best, but the one that stands out the best, and reach out and see if they want to come on with us.
Yeah, we could try that.
Even if it's only for like the first 15 minutes or so, or whatever, and then we'll kick it off of that and jump into everybody else.
Or maybe we have a couple people with the same answer, and then can kind of discuss that. We'll figure something out.
2 or 3 on and whatever.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
But back to what the card hobbyist said about we all like playing with our cards. That's one thing about. I mean, you sort them one way, you go back, like I said, 4 or 5 months later and resort them a different way. Yeah, you're resorting the same stuff you've already sorted, but it goes back to your question, or earlier today, about time spent looking at cards you have. Well, if you're resorting, then you're re-looking at cards you already have.
True.
Especially if it's sorting like your PC cards and not necessarily like a box of.
But remember that question was for the future. That question had not been brought public yet.
That's true. Okay.
I don't want to delve too far into it, because that's another future show topic, I think.
Yeah, but it's another way. It's another way to enjoy your cards. I mean, you can sort it a different way every other week, and you spend that time to looking at your cards. So
yeah,
enjoy your cards.
If you have a dedicated player collection, especially now if you've started it and you're already caught up. No, but you can scan your cards so that you can put them on trading card day. There's all these different things you can do with the cards that you have. Me, I still can't decide what I want to do with most of my Earnhardts. Do I want to put most of them in a binder? Do I want to, I was like, no, I don't want to do that because I don't go through binders. And then I saw pop up on one of my saved searches the other day, the black card pages that are like in the Z folios and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, maybe, because Earnhardt, I mean, his main color was black. So, maybe it would look really nice in those. So maybe I'll do that. And I went and started searching them. And then I'm like, yeah, but it's still a binder. And then I have stuff that's not going to be able to be bind. So I was just like, I just can't I'm so indecisive on that stuff. maybe I need to go into that Super Collectors Unite group and just see what some of these guys do. Some of these guys, there's like a Mike Mussina collector that I think he's got close to 3,500 unique Mussinas.
Ooh.
But you got to think about, if you've been collecting him since he was a rookie, it's not nearly the the effort, the cost that it is now trying to go back and start collecting it.
So that's what we're talking about next week, and I'm probably going to shock you with my answer. Matter of fact, I know I am.
All right.
And probably a lot of other people.
What's the question?
Wouldn't even started. No,
I'm not going to lie. I don't even remember what the question was again. because we've talked about so many different things.
Yeah,
You and I have talked about so many different things today.
Yeah, and I've kind of tried to jump into the deep end before we're supposed to even have our swimming trunks on. So, all right,
The piece
I'm
of
out,
advice.
man. That's all I got.
The piece of advice. That was
Rich.
the question we were talking about. Yeah, I don't have anything else. I mean, did you have anything you wanted to show off or anything? Other than
No,
other-
I mean other. Nah. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Look. I picked this up. This is total. Not reprint, but this is a total art card, I guess you'd call it. I picked this up last week, or actually a couple weeks ago. It was Rosella Avenue.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
And I just thought it would be a pretty cool card to have. But it is Freddie Freeman, and he made this right after the Dodgers came to Atlanta. It's got like a new stamp on the front of it. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, it looks like the 76 traded cards, basically.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can read it, but it says Mark Sports Extra 2022. Freddie resigns with the Braves, says money isn't everything.
That's your utopia right there.
That's it, and it's got a place right here on my desk. But and then I showed this one earlier, but that was my first variation of the 72, where I found out that my 72 set wasn't complete until I got all the variations.
You actually just gave me another question for another show down the road.
All right, guys. Appreciate everybody that joined us, and appreciate everybody in the chat is already subscribed. Hit the like button, comment. I guess we'll see you down the road. Well, wait, but that's your saying.
Hey, I ain't got no trademark on it.
My best PC rookie, honestly, is probably a 91 Topps.
I mean, honestly, on Chipper, I mean, outside of, unless you have like the Desert Shield, they're kind of all about the same, aren't they?
I would love to have a Desert Shield.
Well, yeah. No, I get that.
I finally picked up I think I told this to you, but I finally picked up the Dale Murphy Desert Shield.
Oh, did you? I've had that. Yeah, I have had that one for a few years. Now he's in a Phillies uniform in that one.
Yeah, that's the only bad thing about
it. It hurts.
That was his first year in a Phillies uniform.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So
yeah, because I definitely remember the 90. Because I remember the blue borders, multiple types of blue border. 90.
But all right, y'all take care and enjoy your hobby.